Welcome back, everybody, to the Albuquerque Vipers franchise on Madden 07. Today we're going to be recapping Season 5 of this series. Here, starting with the standings. The Steelers go 14-2 and win the AFC, or at least they get the 1 seed in the AFC. I guess to win the AFC you have to go to the Super Bowl. And then you saw the rest of the standings there in the North. The defending Super Bowl champion Indianapolis Colts go 9-7, while the Texans go 8-8, the Titans 6-10, and the Drew Brees-led Jaguars 4-12. The Patriots also go 14-2, the Bills go 9-7 and get a wild card spot. The Jets finish at 8-8, and then the Miami Dolphins at 5-11. The Chargers win their division at 10-6. The other wild card spot goes to the Denver Broncos at 9-7. The Chiefs are going to go 8-8, and then the Raiders at 6-10. In the NFC, the Packers win their division at 11-5. The Detroit Lions get a wild card spot for the first time in forever at 9-7. The Bears go 5-11, and then the Minnesota Vikings finish with a record of 4-12. The Saints are going to win the South at 10-6. The Falcons at 9-7 just miss out on the postseason. The Michael Vick injury proves to be costly as he missed a good chunk of the year due to injury. The Buccaneers and Panthers both finish with losing records. The Washington Redskins are going to get the 2 seed in the NFC with a 13-3 record, and then the Cowboys finish at 500. The Jets and Eagles both at 5-11. And then the Vipers, we get the 1 seed in the NFC with a 14-2 record. The Seahawks are going to get a playoff spot at 12-4. The Cardinals, another team that barely missed out on the playoffs at 9-7. And then the 49ers, they're going to go 4-12. Orlando Cross finished with the best quarterback rating in the league. Tom Brady with the most passing yards, though. Behind him is Matt Leinart, Orlando Cross, Brock Flowers, and Matt Hasselbeck. Rookie quarterback Brock Flowers led the league in touchdown passes with 34, just absolutely shattering the rookie record. Orlando Cross with a career high with 32. Phillip Rivers threw 30. Curtis Williams and Ben Roethlisberger round up the top 5 there. Looking at the least amount of interceptions done, most of it was guys who didn't play most of the season due to injury or their backups or something like that. Meanwhile, Drew Brees, AJ Young, and Aaron Rodgers each threw 23 interceptions. My goodness gracious. Dominique Davis led the league in rushing yards. He had 1,900 of them. Larry Johnson finished just a couple yards behind him there. Then you got Landanian Tomlinson, Kevin Jones, and Lawrence Maroney. Maroney led the league in touchdown rushes there with 18. Then you got Dominique Davis with 16. LT had 14. And then Alexander and Jones each had 13. 110 catches for Lee Evans, and he got Bolden, Moss, Hines Ward, and Javon Walker of the Denver Broncos. When it comes to yards there, you got Lee Evans, then you got Chad Ochocinco, Santana, Moss, Bolden, and Coles. And when it comes to touchdowns, Santana, Moss, and Larry Fitzgerald each had 13. Chad Johnson with 12. Hines Ward and Coles each had 11. Our boy Jordan Gross had the most pancakes in the league, and then Tariq Glenn came in second. Meanwhile, the Ravens center Scott Wells gave up the most sacks. Jonathan Vilma, 196 tackles for him. Carlos Dansby came in second with 156. Jeff Roberts led the league in TFLs. He had 9 of them. And Terrell Wilson came in second at that. And then James Hall in 5th. Javon Curse, he broke the season sack record with 24 of them. Despite the Eagles going 5-11, he breaks the record. And they're not even able to do anything with that in the postseason. 15 big hits there for Jonathan Vilma. Terrence Newman led the league in interceptions. Our boy Ike Taylor came in second. That's a total of 15 interceptions between our 2 starting cornerbacks. That's a lot there. Looking more so at Orlando Cross's stats, he had over 3,000 passing yards, 32 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, a 60% completion percentage, and he was sacked 35 times, which is pretty good for him. Look, just knowing and looking at past seasons, he's having the best year of his career. And then Seneca Wallace was a good backup, only 6 incompletions, 5 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He was sacked 6 times though. Ed Ailman was our leading rusher with just 676 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Running back is definitely going to be probably the biggest thing we go after in the offseason. Orlando Cross was second in rushing. Phil Van Dyke, he had himself 400 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. Maurice Morris had 67 yards and 2 touchdowns. Najee Davenport, who's now our fullback, he had himself 27 yards. MJD had 19. Seneca Wallace with 17, and then Charles Phillips with -3. Larry Fitzgerald was our leading receiver, 64 catches for him for 1,309 yards, 13 touchdowns. Charles Phillips was second with 800 yards and 6 touchdowns, followed by Alex Smith, who almost had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Then you have Ed Ailman. Chris Clark had 400 yards and 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdown receptions for Roddy White. Najee Davenport got pretty involved in the receiving game with 3 touchdowns. Phil Van Dyke had a touchdown catch, as did the backup tight end Owen Daniels. 2 touchdowns for Maurice Morris, who caught one against his former team in the Seahawks. MJD had 2 catches for 11 yards, and then Dante Hall 2 catches for 20 yards. The offensive line definitely improved this season, although I can't say I'm necessarily impressed with Jordan Gross's play. Yeah, he led the league in pancakes. He did give up 10 sacks, which is definitely not the worst, but I felt like there were just a lot of times he should have been blocking and didn't. I don't know if he's gonna be on the team next season. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if he's really worth what we're paying him, because we got the highest rated offensive line in the league, and we're not going to be able to keep that intact for very, very much longer, I don't think. So, we might as well try to win while we have this whole team here together. And this defense played really good, especially against the run. Looking at sacks there, Antrell Wilson led the team with 13. Then Daryl Finnan had 10. Hall and Wicks each had 4. 3 for Jeff Rolbrich. 2 there for Pete Hunter. And then you have a handful of guys here with just 1. Looking at interceptions, we already have seen Terrence Newman's 8 and the 7 there for Ike Taylor. John Kelly had 4. Wade Schmidt had 3. Jared Knight, Jeff Rolbrich, and Pete Hunter all had 1. Looking at the forced fumbles here, we forced 4 fumbles with 4 different players here, but we unfortunately were only able to recover 2 of them. And then we got a handful of defensive touchdowns, 2 pick sixes for Ike Taylor, 2 pick sixes for Terrence Newman, and then a scoop and score for Jared Knight. John Hall, one of the best kickers in the league, 32 of 32, and then 53 of 53 when it comes to extra points. Roddy Williams was not very busy punting the football this season. Dante Hall, he had 3 kick return touchdowns on the season. Didn't do a whole lot when it came to punt returns, though. Orlando Cross picked up the most first downs. That's normal to have the quarterback do that. And you can see the other 4 guys there. And Orlando Cross is your league MVP. He was one of the favorites to win it last season, but unfortunately did not end up winning it. Brock Flowers came in 3rd there. I honestly think he probably deserved it more. He had more touchdowns, less interceptions, more yards. Actually, I don't think he had more yards, but honestly, I do feel like Flowers played better. But, I'll take the MVP for Orlando Cross. Hopefully, it's not just going to be his first and only. Jonathan Vilma is going to win Defensive Player of the Year there. Javon Curse did not even show up on that list, which is very surprising. You have 24 sacks, and you're not even a top 5 for Defensive Player of the Year. That's pretty whack. Brock Flowers easily takes away the Offensive Rookie of the Year. You play like that, you're going to win that award there. And then McGrady of the Buccaneers, the linebacker there, is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year with his 14 sacks. Cross is also going to win the Best Quarterback Award. Tom Brady, Brock Flowers, Matt Leinart, and Phillip Rivers are your runners-up. Dominique Davis, who led the league in rushing, is going to be the best running back there. He's going to win that award. Larry Fitzgerald is going to win the Best Wide Receiver. Santana Moss came in 2nd. And then you got the top 3 offensive linemen of the year are all Vipers. So you see what I mean? I don't think we're going to be able to keep this group intact. Either they're going to retire or they're going to, want big money and they're going to end up going to other teams. Javon Curse didn't even win the best defensive end there, defensive lineman, which is just crazy. They didn't win it. I don't know if it's because his team had a losing record maybe, but it's crazy they didn't win that award. And then Brian Billick, he's going to come 3rd in Coach of the Year. And then also, as you saw there, we had the best kicker with John Hall. We had a handful of Vipers go to the Pro Bowl. Orlando Cross is going to be the starting quarterback. Our former fullback, Walt Morrison, actually made it with the Seahawks. Larry Fitzgerald is going to be going there. No surprise. And obviously, we have a handful of offensive linemen. I think all of our starting offensive linemen actually made the Pro Bowl. So, kind of unrealistic there, I guess. But, yeah, we're definitely not going to have as good of an O-line next season. You saw we had... some defensive linemen make it there. And then the 2 starting cornerbacks, Newman and Taylor, the 2 leaders in interceptions around the league. Dante Hall and John Hall also both made it. That's going to do it for this video. The next video in this series is going to be our playoff game against who knows, because we have a first round bye. That's going to do it for this video now. Thank you all for watching. And until next time, this has been Jeffrey reminding you to stay moist.